Bluff City Media presents the Two Buck Sports Show with your hosts, Rusty Buckets and Uncle Buck. Now, let's get to the show.
What is up, everybody? Happy Monday. Welcome to a live version of the Two Buck Sports Show. I'm your co-host, Rusty Buckets, coming to you live from East Memphis, Tennessee, hanging out with my guy, Drew Gann, a.k.a. Uncle Buck. Uncle Buck, been cold enough for you these last couple days?
Cold enough, buddy. I told you and I've told everybody else, I'm not built for this. I am not built for this. I don't like it. I don't like my bones starting to shiver and shiver and rattle.
Is it full?
Oh, man. 'Tis the season to be merry. That was an accident, folks. But hold on, let me go get my Santa Claus hat because it is. It's the season to be merry.
We made it all the way to Christmas before you got naughty and said an ugly word live on cable, YouTube, internet, television. That's what you get on the
funny.
Two Buck Sports Show. As we are we're the jolliest bunch of a-holes this side of the nut house. Me and Uncle Buck hanging out here on a Monday, and I couldn't think of a better way to start the show, to be honest with you.
I could, but you could tell it was an accident. I've tried to do better.
Yeah, well, I, for one, am glad you didn't then. It must run in the family because right on the other side of this, we're going to be talking about the best thing that happened to us this weekend and the worst thing that happened to us this weekend.
Yeah. This is the Two Buck Sports Show, and I'm Uncle Buck. This is Bluff City Media for the time being until we get kicked off or scolded. This time it would be my fault. Most of the time my fault, if I'm being honest with you. So we're the Two Buck Sports Show of Bluff City Media's YouTube X page. It's 11 o'clock a.m., and that's where you can catch us every single weekday. Rusty, we're live today, and it's the first segment of the show. First segment of the first show of the week. That means we've got some catching up to be. It's a segment we call our Best AF Beef of the Week. So, Rusty, tell them who sponsors us and give us the best thing that happened to you this weekend.
This segment is brought to you by Donna's Italian Beef, 509 Constitution Drive in Iuka, Mississippi. Your home for the best breakfast and sack lunch on your way to Pickwick, Memphis. If you're heading to Pickwick for the weekend, I know it's cold, but if you got a lake house, you got a friend with a lake house, it's still worth going over there to hang out on the beautiful lake that is Pickwick Lake, made by the great folks at TVA back in the day. If you're on your way over there, head by see Jim and the gang at Donna's Italian Beef. Get you a sack lunch, a slug burger, a beef burger, their special burger of the day. Get you a tenderloin biscuit if it's early enough. And make sure you snap a picture of that Two Buck Sports Show business card on their cork board. Hit me up, and I will Venmo you the cost of your meal. That still stands for anybody heading that way. All in all, it's a really, really good weekend. Yeah. I got a lot of good family time. It's hard to nail down one thing because it was all great.
Right.
I spent a ton of time with my family. Maggie and I had a great restful day yesterday. Family time is always a good thing, particularly with my grandmother's not doing super well. So I got to see her, spend a little time with her, and help my aunt settle into her house. I'll say this. I was going to use it as my beef, but I got to watch my nephew play basketball on Friday night against one of the top teams in the state, the Boonville Blue Devils, multi-time state championship winner. They've got these Duke brothers. Their last name's Duke. They're all 6'6" with red hair, and they can all
and Luke.
Basically, yeah, and Daisy. But they all can hoop. They're all 6'6". They're all good basketball players, and they didn't take their first lead over my brother's ragtag bunch until the end of the third quarter. Then were playing outside of their head, but late in the third quarter, Boonville ramped up their defense, ultimately getting the win. But getting to watch my nephew compete, he was the game's second leading scorer with 11 points, and play really hard against a good team in a physical game that the refs let them play. Now, they're high school refs. They miss stuff here and there. Down the stretch,
Right.
Their point guard kept hooking Ty with his arm as he'd go by, and Ty had no chance. And the kid was fast enough anyway. That kid also, their point guard, had on the all-white Ja Morants, the Ja 3s, and acted after the game. He said, "I called game, call me." And I was like, "You ain't 12, but all right." But it was cool to see Ja's celebration in the high school ranks for sure.
If you win,
you get to do it. Absolutely. I ain't mad at it. Like looking at you, Diego Pavic, you didn't win. You talked your talk. We'll get to that here in a little bit.
Yeah.
But it was good to see my nephew compete and my brother then hang with a team who like Clarke and them had no business. They lost by 10. They had no business being that close. Again, Louisville didn't take a lead
Right.
till the end of the third. I'm really proud of the team and the effort they put in Friday night.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. My Friday night looked much different. I solo parented the 4 kids at the house, and all things considered, it went pretty well. Got to watch the Grizzlies game. Well, all things considered, it was pretty well. My best of the weekend, though, happened yesterday morning. So we go to church locally here on Wednesday nights to a little small Methodist church is where my kids go. And so they go because they have the Good Kids program, and lots of school friends go there. And so what they've been doing over the Christmas season on Wednesday nights is preparing for a Christmas play. And my boy Braxton goes, my little girl Jenny goes, she's 3, almost 4. And Christmas plays, if you've ever watched a kid's Christmas play, you know what it's like. Rusty, I've got the video here if you want to set the screen up. You know what it's like. It's the enjoyment of a Christmas play is seeing what crazy stuff these kids are going to do. And just a disclaimer, we raised our daughter right by our views. I don't know why she did the things that she did, but I've got I've zoomed in a video of little Jenny here doing what anybody who watched wrestling in the 1980s have seen, or in the 1990s in the Attitude Era. And shout out to Stone Cold Steve Austin over Rusty's right shoulder there. You've seen Stone Cold Steve Austin do this many times. I'll just show it to you. All right.
Ready?
Yep. That's her beautiful little innocent girl looking at her mama. And then boom. If anybody didn't see it. That is
that's not the index finger we're pointing with.
No. So my wife gave Jenny the thumbs up, and Jenny returned her thumbs up with a front face and middle finger in front of the church and everybody. Stone Cold would have loved it. Maybe I can get Stone Cold. I don't know where she learned it. I'll be honest with you. This is my best of the week, and that's not a mistake. I thought it was absolutely hilarious because it's the innocence of youth. If my son, who is 8 years old, did that, I would have proceeded to take him off the stage by his ears, and you would have heard what happened to him throughout the church. But my baby girl, my 3-year-old girl, responding to her mom's thumbs up with a confused front face and middle finger, I lost it. I lost it right there in the church house. Just belly laughed. And it was a comedy of errors because it didn't just stop there. My son, who is 1 year old, in the Methodist church, they were lighting the Advent candles as we're in the Christmas season. And as the lady lit the first candle, and it's a small church, no microphones needed kind of church. He proceeded, as the candles were lit, to start screaming "Happy Birthday" song, which just halted the church as Banksy started singing "Happy Birthday" during the Advent candles. Yeah, it was a beautiful service.
Yeah, I mean, it's the innocence of kids because she had no idea what she was doing. Their brains are still trying to figure out the wiring. They're still trying to get it to where, their body responds accordingly. There was this video of this mom and this daughter a couple of years ago where they're like looking at each other, and the mom like gives her the bird, and the daughter goes, and then looks at her hand and is like, and it takes her a minute to figure out which finger to put up. And so kids are still processing. God bless Jenny, had no idea what she was doing. She was just responding to her mom, unfortunately with the wrong finger, which makes me laugh.
Let's go ahead. Biggest beef of the week. I was going to show one more video, but we may close the show with Jenny. Jenny may sing us out.
Sing us out. Luke Hatmaker sings into the Daily Grind. We're going to let Jenny sing us out of the 2 Buck Sports Show. But my biggest beef of the weekend is moving. I hate moving. And we moved my mom all her stuff on Saturday, and she said, I thinned it out, and I've gotten rid of stuff.
Oh, of course.
I'd hate to see what it looked like beforehand. She had a yard sale, and I asked her in said yard sale, did you use the barter system and acquire more stuff? Like, I don't understand how this garage sale works when you've got more stuff than you used to have. And then she had the audacity to say, oh, it's okay. I'll just buy another one. I said, I don't think you need to buy another one. She goes, another what? I said, another anything, like ever. Like you got everything possible in the world owned right here. Yeah. And God bless her and my aunt are moving in, so they help take care of my grandmother together and take some of the stress off of each other. But like it was chaos on Saturday, just moving all that stuff. I was sore Saturday night. Sunday I was sore, kind of walking funny, just from like putting in 10,000 steps while carrying stuff. Moving stuff, including an antique hairdresser, the kind that you sit underneath. Like that was my great grandmother's. It hadn't worked in 30 years. Yes, did I say hairdresser? A hair dryer that you sit under.
Say, what is that? Is that a dresser for your hair products, or
you've seen the Jetsons, right?
From the future,
it's
where
it's from the
sit
Jetsons,
under and it fixes your hair.
Yeah, it's from the Jetsons. But man, I hate moving, and like it just makes me like I got back here this weekend and was like, I'm going to sell everything I own so that I don't have to move a single thing ever again. Like I'm just going to get rid of everything except for this chair, my computer, and Stone Cold. That's it. Everything else.
That's it. Yeah. One of the things that I said, well, we were extremely blessed to have this house. Like the whole story for this house is a long story I won't get into, but we got a 3,000 square foot house as newly married couple with no kids because it was an offer that we couldn't say no to. And I said something at that time, and somebody corrected me, and it ended up being the wisest thing anybody told me. I said, we will never fill up this house. And my dad looked at me, and he said, buddy, you will have this house full in 6 months. Said, you will fill up whatever space that you own. And nothing has been truer in my life. Like, we've got an attic with a floor in it that runs the whole length of the front part of our house. We have filled it up. I don't know how we've accumulated all this crap, but it didn't take long.
It doesn't take long at all. Like, and it's not on purpose. Like you just kind of happen to like end up accumulating stuff, and you don't really realize how much ketchup or how many shirts or socks or boxes or coffee mugs you accumulate until you're trying to box them up. And you're like, I've boxed 2 boxes of coffee mugs. Why am I still finding more? Like,
dude, the Yeti cups or insulated cups that everybody gets for Christmas, just we threw out like 30 because everybody just gets them as gifts. Water bottles, reusable water bottles. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
my wife,
she's
the kind that won't turn down a deal. Somebody wants to give you something, it's like, yeah, I'll take it, and if I don't want it, I'll just give it away. And so she's just like stored a bunch of furniture and stuff, and I just like, we'll never use that. And I finally got to the point. She was like, let's just put it in the attic. I'm like, baby, the stairs won't hold me taking up this piece of furniture in the attic. Now, one more thing. I'm going to fall through it. I'll die. And it'll be because you found a free dresser on the side of the road. Like, one thing in, one thing out.
Candaris is right. The Yeti is the white man mason jar. Every white dude has 30 Yetis of different various shapes, sizes, colors.
This is my water one. This is my soda one. This is my coffee one.
Like in his face, and that we will have them in our favorite camo patterns, in our favorite college football team covers, silver with stickers on them, all white. Like and then our wives or girlfriends will have their names etched on theirs or their monograms or whatever. Like all of us have our own personal Yetis. That's a good call.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. My beef of the weekend, did a lot of driving. Listen, don't hear what I'm not saying if I'm talking to the in-laws here, if they're listening. We had a great time Saturday. We went to my mother-in-law's house. We went and bought a bunch of treats, did a bunch of cookies, made Christmas stuff. Haley was out of town, and so I went to my mother-in-law's, took all the kids. We had a big time, played outside, the whole thing. And then we were going to thinking about, do we go home or do we extend the party? And because it's the Christmas season and I am the jolly buck here on the right side of the screen, I was in. Whatever you want to do, I was in. And so they're like, let's go. My mother-in-law lives about an hour away outside of Boonville, Mississippi. And so let's go to Muscle Shoals, which is another hour on the other side, about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And they've got this nice little city park here with lights, and you can take a train ride around the park and let all the kids see that. And I'm like, all right, jolly buck here, just trying to do whatever makes the kids happy. So we took off another hour, the opposite direction, 5 o'clock at night, dark outside, by myself with the kids. And the train was broke.
Oh, no.
the train was off the tracks.
Oh, no.
So, yeah. And it was a great metaphor, if I'm being honest. The train being off the tracks was what we ran into to end the Saturday night. So, but thankfully, the best thing that happened to me this week was Sunday morning. So, bounce right back.
Bounced right back with Jenny up on that stage, letting everybody know that she is a huge Stone Cold Steve Austin fan. And if you're like, wait, no, you're just now getting here, go back and check the beginning. You do not want to miss that video.
Wait, no, I'll send you the video. I'll send you the full video.
what sweet Jenny did on Sunday. But we got some good news over the weekend, finally, for the Memphis Grizzlies, but it makes me nervous as well, Drew.
That's right. We're the $2. It's Christmas time. It's the Monday edition of the show on Bluff City Media. For everybody who's trickled in since the introduction, I would like to say one more time, if you're watching on X, the old folks on Rusty's Facebook, if you're watching anywhere other than YouTube, I would like to cordially invite everybody to come over to YouTube. On your way to the comment section, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell. We will notify you anytime a Bluff City Media show goes live, so you don't have to set your watch by it. You don't have to set up a reminder, an appointment. We'll let you know anytime a Bluff City Media show comes live. That helps us out a lot. And then hop over in the comments. Kendarius, Wayno, King Meeks, all the cool kids are here. A little late trickling in this morning, but that's okay. It's Monday. It's Monday. But get here.
Mondays go.
Get here.
Yeah.
You can come in at any time as long as you watch the whole show and you give us a thumbs up. But we got Grizzlies news involving Brandon Clarke. Tell us about it.
Yeah, we finally got a positive Grizz PR notification, and I'm putting this out there now. The prophecy is not going to hold true. We're going to be healthy at the end of tonight, and we're going to get Brandon Clarke back. We're not going to have to sacrifice somebody to get Brandon Clarke back, but we got a doubtful designation for Brandon Clarke, who has been out since the mid to late last season with a knee injury, had a knee cleanup surgery right at the start of training camp, thinking we were going to be able to get him back, and they had to go in and do a little cleanup on his knee. Thankfully, we got a doubtful designation, and we're getting Brandon Clarke back early. When they had that surgery, like the initial prognostication would be 2026 before we saw Brandon Clarke. And here we are at the end of 2025, and there is a good shot, Drew, that he's going to be playing when Maggie and I go this Saturday to watch the Wizards and the Grizzlies play in the FedEx Forum. Brandon Clarke is going to be back in a Grizzlies uniform playing basketball.
Yeah, and that's big. That's big. Listen, I've very much pondered how much bounce is left in BC, just because he's gone through multiple lower extremity injuries over the last 3 years. Mm-hmm. It's been a lot, including an Achilles pop, in which he never really got his sea legs back after that, before having the PCL injury. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, I have some questions as to how good Brandon's going to be, especially off the jump. But that is nothing compared to how excited I am and the need that is front court depth for the Memphis Grizzlies. There's no one other than Jock Landale, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Santi Aldama, and the latter of those two of those three are having to play out of position if they're in the 4-5. So you've got to have BC back.
And none of the three are having great years. And I think the Brandon Clarke effect is something that we are truly, like Kendarius said, God, we miss BC. What Brandon Clarke does well, he brings up a good point. Brandon Clarke was really good at rebounding and tip-ins like Edey did. He is his total rebounds for his career is averaging 9.5 per game. Last year, before he got hurt, he was at 9.7, which is the third highest in his entire career, was last year, gathering 9.7 rebounds per game in the 64 that he played. His true field goal percentage for his career is 64%. His efficient field goal percentage is 62%. We are plus 8.7 in a net rating with Brandon Clarke on the court last year. And then when he got hurt, that immediately dropped by 6 points per game. So we are 6 points better with Brandon Clarke on the floor. And you can't understate what Brandon Clarke means to this team. Or you can't overstate what Brandon Clarke means to this team. Last year, MLK Day, we're playing Minnesota. Who is it closing out on Ant that gets in Ant's face on what was an otherwise wide open three for us to win the game? Right. Brandon Clarke, who has been, if you go look at Grizzlies all-time 2, 3, 4, and 5-man lineups on any NBA advanced stats, basketball reference of all of them, because Brandon Clarke just plays winning basketball. He has no other better way to put this, but he has a give a damn factor that few people on this team have, and he plays his tail off when he's in the game, Drew. And I think just from an effort, energy standpoint, and then the little things he does well, I think Brandon Clarke could come in and have a similar, not the same, but a similar impact that Zach Edey did when he came back from injury.
Okay. Well, great. Now we've both said a bad word on the show, so we're going to have to put up the E-tag on podcast form. Listen, the biggest thing about Brandon, everything you said is true. He's a high motor player. He's a good rebounder. He's always in position. He's one of those players that everybody likes to talk about what he's not more than what he is. And what he is active, good rebounder, good second shot, second chance opportunity guy. The most important thing for him, and again, I'm in the camp that Jaren Jackson Jr. struggles are Jaren Jackson Jr. problems, not team or system problems. But there's no question about it. Those two play extremely well together. The two-man net rating lineups with BC and Jaren are tops on the team most years when they meet the minimum threshold of minutes. They are so good together. He allows Jaren to defend the 5 position but play offensively in the 4 position. It sucks, and I said this with Ja, and it fits with BC as well. It sucks that we're not going to have the opportunity for you to ease your way back into it. He's got to come in and be great, and thankfully last year, coming off of an Achilles tear, he was really good right off the jump.
Great. Yeah, he was great, and if we can get some semblance of that, because we need rebounding, especially tonight against a rebound merchant that is Zubac, somebody said this morning.
He exhaled.
Yeah,
seeing the injury report,
absolutely.
Zubac was like, "Oh, thank God."
Yeah, because somebody this morning in the Daily Grind comment said that they need to set the over/under on FanDuel at 31.5 rebounds for him tonight, because that's just what he's going to do. But Brandon Clarke can help with that tonight, because he is a true, where SGA is a free throw merchant, Brandon Clarke is a bunny merchant. Like, he makes his living 3 feet in front of the rim with tap outs and tap ins, and I think that's going to be huge for us. He's a 6'8" center, and he's going to get swallowed up in a lot of big lineups. But the guy just plays winning basketball, and he knows position, rebounding, and defensive position well enough that he can hold his own against bigger centers. And like Wayno said, BC's one of my favorite to ever put on the Beale Street Blue. He finished 4th in the Rookie of the Year voting. He was 11th in Sixth Man of the Year a few years ago. He is the definition of a glue guy, and he is our glue guy. And it has been a long, long time waiting to see 15 back. And I'm so excited, man. Like, just to see little bits of glimpse. Like, again, he's probably not going to play tonight against Zubac because he got the doubtful. He might play Wednesday in Minnesota, but it feels like he'll for sure be playing by Saturday. And that ovation when he comes back in that lineup on Saturday is going to be huge for his first home game.
And it should be. He is very important. And he's a long-tenured Grizzly. And I love long-tenured Grizzlies. I mean, even Conchar, when the day he goes, it's like he's been one of us for a long time. Drafted in the same class as Ja, I believe, was Brandon Clarke, the 19 draft. And so, he's been with us for a long time. Wayno brings up the point here. I started. Minutes restriction is going to kill us. Listen. I do agree with you. It sucks. You're going to have John on a minutes restriction. You're going to have Brandon obviously on a minutes restriction. And then you're just going to have to go full bore with Jaren and the bench guys and Jalen and Cedric. That's going to be your big minute guys, and that's going to kill us. But I don't know if you watched any of the Oklahoma City and San Antonio game.
A good bit of it,
that was Saturday night. Buddy. Wemby on a minutes restriction of 20 minutes had 21 and 9. And San Antonio hands Oklahoma City their second loss of the year. And I found myself in a pretty dark spot. I found myself in a pretty dark spot watching those two teams go at it, because that was an incredible basketball game. And it left me feeling like, listen, you never tank. Never tank. I'm team never tank.
Never tank.
But if you looked at that game, and any team in the Western Conference especially looked at that and was like, buddy, if that's what's going to happen over the next 5 years, I don't know. Maybe a number 1 pick is the best option you could get.
Yeah, I mean, Wemby looked amazing. Called Alex Caruso a little boy after he got hacked twice and then buried that 20-foot fadeaway jumper at the end of the shot clock. just an incredible. That's two elite basketball teams, and we were always talking about how Wemby and Jaren and the Grizzlies and the Spurs are going to be big rivals. We're not even the same. We're not even playing the same sport right now. Like watching those two teams.
And that's the most frustrating part about this whole thing is we've seen Oklahoma City, Minnesota, and San Antonio all pass us with players that they drafted and developed. It's like it's not like a big splashy signing. Yeah. San Antonio did make a trade for De'Aaron Fox, but like outside of that, these teams have organically grown to just put the Grizzlies in the ground.
And SGA was an afterthought in the Paul George trade. Like, I mean, he was a decent part of it, but he was just a part of the Paul George trade. Like, he wasn't like the splash for Oklahoma City. But like, yeah, for a team that we're big on development, and we've done a really good job talking about John and Jaren and BC and Edie and some of these getting Cedric that are developing Jalen Wells. None of those dudes are Jalen Williams or Wemby or Stephon Castle right now. Those guys have lapped us, and we are in the rearview mirror, and it's put up or shut up time for this front office from a development standpoint. And what are we going to do to make this team better to catch up? Because you see it there.
I feel like we're always forecasting 3 years down the road. Like, oh, this team's going to be great in 3 years. Oh, this team's going to be great in 3 years. We keep killing the draft, and it's like, come on. Like, we're watching a third-year
got a point here. Those teams have yet to play a Cam, Edie, Job, BC lineup. They're lucky. Like, you get that lineup, that's the lineup of death right there. That's the new lineup of death. Shout out to Darius.
I appreciate that. I hope that you really feel that way.
Yeah. I mean, but the Grizzlies.
Ken Darius lives a happy life if that's how he feels.
I love it, man. Let's be more like Ken Darius for sure. But the Memphis Grizzlies do play tonight. Late night tip, 9:30. One of the games added when we got bounced from the NBA Cup against the LA Clippers. It's like the third time we're going to play them in it's the 2 of 3 times we're going to play in like 2 weeks. But we traveled to LA where the Clippers are a 4.5 point favorite over on FanDuel. On the money line, Grizzlies plus 144. Some player points over unders you could bet on. Ja Morant, 19.5. Jaren has steadily gone down. Used to, at the start of the season, it was 20.5. Now it's down to 17.5. 3 points worse for Jaren on the over-under. And what feels like easy money right now, Cam Spencer, over-under set at 10.5 with minus 114 odds either way. I think Cam Spencer, if I was going to put money on that, I'd hammer the over Cam Spencer at 10.5.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. Cam Spencer is going to give you 16 easy. I love Cam Spencer. I love Cam Spencer so much. Listen, you need Ja to go over. Listen, Ja's over-under being set at 19.5 is a slap in the face. Like, he's got to be at 26, 27.5. Like, there's no reason why your superstar should not be scoring 27, 28 points a night. You've seen it out of Ja Morant in the past, and you've got to figure it out. And this is on Isolo, this is on Ja, this is on the players on the court. I don't know what you got to do. Ja's going to have to be more efficient, but you've got to find a way to get Ja to 27, 28 points. He's got to average that at least.
And he's got it. Like, we're still only going to get – he's going to have to do that in 25 minutes because that's all you're going to get from Ja right now on this minutes restriction. He's going to do it in whatever he does. It ain't going to be in 25:01. It ain't going to be in 26 minutes. It's going to be in 25 minutes tonight. And if guys can play – if Buddy can play –
I said on the post-game bounce after the Utah game, which we hadn't even talked about, thankfully. But I was on the post-game bounce post-game after the Utah game, and I said on the show, like, listen, I was kind of encouraged that the Grizzlies were better with Ja Morant on the court, and the bench didn't carry the day. I think the bench is good enough to carry the day if needed to, but the fact that Ja Morant went to the game and the team noticeably got worse was encouraging to me for some backwards reason.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. But we need – Kendare said it earlier. Like, we need Ja to be more of that facilitator like he was starting to be last year. He needs to feed Cedric Coward. Tonight, especially tonight, he needs to find Cam Spencer when they're on the court together. I think that Ja Morant's best basketball ahead of him is going to be as the facilitator right now in his 25 minutes. Yes, we need 27, 28 points, but we're going to need 10, 12 assists where he's finding – Jaren, where he's finding Cedric, BC when he's back, like spreading the basketball around. Like, I need to see Ja Morant taking ownership of leading this team from a point guard perspective as well.
Yeah.
Kendarius is talking about the post-game Ja interview. Yeah, I mean,
fill me in.
So basically, he said, I want to keep my thoughts to myself about some of the
I did see
system
that.
talk.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I just like with it's kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't. You know, he's definitely, if he comes out and speaks his mind about the system and it's not, he doesn't like the system, then he's disgruntled. He's going to ask out. He's going to be traded. If he comes in and he's like, man, I love this system. It works. It's blah, 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 blah. Then it's going to be like, why aren't you playing better? Why aren't you putting up numbers like you used to put up if you love the system so much? Ja's in a really tough spot. Winning cures all. If we go out and start winning basketball, it's all gonna be cured. It's all gonna be fine. Like Jaron said, it ultimately answered the question. Jared says here in the comments, it's not something worth overreacting or crashing out about. In my opinion, I think it's just being fleshing out his thoughts and what's still a new system. And Ja's never been a great interview guy anyway. He's awkward, socially awkward, doesn't love the camera in his face. And I think we read too much into what Ja Morant says sometimes.
Yeah. I think that is true. We do probably read too much into it. However, if he was happy, I think he would say he was happy. And I do think that if you want this team to have success and you want Ja to have 25 to 28 points a game, it's going to have to be in a situation that he feels is beneficial to himself.
Yeah.
And a no comment is not happiness. I go back to the Lane Kiffin situation. If you're staying, you'll stay. You're staying. If you're not staying, you say nothing. If you're saying nothing, you're unhappy. That's what I think.
And then you look at the treatment that Kalen DeBoer's getting right now. If you talk that same thing, he came out and said, "I'm happy where I'm at," and people are still saying, "Oh, he's probably still going to go to Michigan." Like it's again, you're never going to say the right thing.
I'm not worried about the response to the quote. I'm just talking about the quote. I understand that the media is going to twist, turn, whatever, but if you just take the quote at face value, a no comment is never a good sign, typically. Yeah. And to Wayno's comment, I pulled this up because he threw this in the group chat the other day. He refers to the Brunson interview, and Brunson was asked about, the offense under Mike Brown opposed to the offense he's been in under Thibodeau for so many years. And this is Wayno paraphrasing, but said it'd be easy to fall into old habits from previous years, but Mike came in with a new system, and if it doesn't start with me buying in, then it won't go anywhere. That's a superstar that made a comment that said it's about buy-in and knowing that if he doesn't buy in, then it hurts the team. And I think that is a instance in which you can look at a superstar player and say he gets it, as opposed to a superstar player no commenting. And again, I don't want to read too much into it, but a no comment is not an endorsement. It could be a lot of things, but it's definitely not an endorsement.
And it's definitely not an I'm out, trade me. And so I think I'm not saying it's what you're saying, but I think Ja has never been a great interview, great sound bites. He's not, maybe he needs to go spend some time with the Shaolin monks like Wemby did. But I'm not going to overreact or read in too much into a player's comments after a loss, which briefly was a bad loss, like an ugly loss to a bad Jazz team. The Grizzlies are now 10-1 against teams below 500 this year. And it's just, that was a gross game. You had no business losing. And it just felt like we just gave it away. You let Kevin Love give you 20. Keontae George put up 39. And down the stretch, we just couldn't close the deal. And it's just yet another frustrating loss on a season when we're getting too many of those again. But this one was this one was a bad team. Like, I can understand some of the good team losses, but when you lose to the Jazz like this, that Jazz team is actively trying to lose. And we go out and we lose like that. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, that's my thing is, you're going to lose games against teams that are bad. I mean, for instance, Oklahoma City lost their second game of the year to San Antonio. It was a great loss. Their first loss was to Portland. Like, this happens. The problem is that you're not offsetting it with good wins. Right. And I've talked about being the best of the bad teams. We just don't know yet. This is the first time this year in which you've lost to a bad team
Yeah.
And that's unacceptable. That's unacceptable when you're not counterbalancing it with a win against a good team. Like, you put yourself in a situation, if you were only going to beat bad teams, you have to beat all bad teams. You cannot lose tonight to the Clippers. You cannot lose Saturday night to the Wizards. Like, you have to be undefeated against bad teams if you're going to not beat any good teams.
Because I believe we only have one win under Tomas Isolo still against a team with a winning record. And, yeah, Keontae George had 39, Kendarius. Like, you heard that right. Like, he had 39. You gave up 39 to a bad team's bad player who's just a shot chucker. And, like, yeah, who's George and how do you
I'll
score
take
39
full
exactly?
responsibility if you want to throw the darts my way. I have bagged on Keontae George more than anybody has ever talked about Keontae George. He has actively lost Utah multiple games against the Grizzlies because he just didn't quit shooting. And this year he's been really, really good. I think he's averaging like 23 and 7 this year. Extremely unethical hooper.
Yes.
But, buddy, they went in. They went in Saturday night.
Yeah, and that's all I want to talk about that Jazz game. It was ugly. We could talk unethical hoopers. We could talk about SGA and that leg kick against the Spurs. Did you kind of down the stretch and Caruso? But, like, I'm tired of that talking point. They're good. They play physical. And it was funny, though. They literally get all the calls in their favor. And to watch them bellyache and moan about the one missed call, and then the NBA came out and said it was contact with Caruso's hand that is part of the ball, no foul. That was a little bit satisfying, at least.
Yeah, San Antonio, buddy. I mean, as a fan, give me Oklahoma City and San Antonio 7 or 8 more times. Like, I love it. That was high level basketball. And Wemby is just. I remember feeling really confident. Look, we were watching it on the couch. My wife was watching it with me. And he's one of those players. I was just like, any point in the game, hey, Wemby's got the ball, watch this. And crossover step back 3. And I was like, hey, Wemby has the ball, watch this. Drive, dunk, whatever. Like, anytime I just say, hey, there's Wemby, watch this, he comes through every time. He is incredible.
Incredible. Just such a fun watch. And unfortunately, not on our team. But
he took a shot at unethical hoops as well.
After the game, and the NBA won't say nothing to him. Nobody will come after him because he's a poster child. But he did it in such a tactful way too. Just that little pregnant pause before he said, "Just pure and ethical basketball." And I freaking loved every bit of that because I mean he's saying what everybody else that's not a fan of the Thunder are saying, that's not ethical basketball.
I'm not bagging on the Thunder's it's not ethnicity.
It's not ethicalness.
Ethicalness.
There you go.
Because their front man does shoot a lot of free throws. But it's hard for me to call somebody unethical hoopers when they play lockdown defense. I mean, and they play hard defensively.
It's not the defensive side, for sure. It's not the defensive side. I love watching the physicality they play defense with. It's the fact that the other side where you can't breathe on Shea, and Shea doesn't have to do.
Thank you. This should have been much simpler. Welcome to the Two Buck Sports Show.
Yeah. Let's get ethical. Shout out Holly Flax and Michael Scott. But like, it's not the defense. It's that SGA doesn't have to do his foul baiting goofiness. He is an elite scorer, but yet that's such a large part of his game week in and week out. That's just great. It's just not a good watch on that end. Again, I'm a fan of physical defense. Like, play physical. They ain't gonna call everything. And I love that part, but it's just the goofy antics they get away with on offense that make them a tough watch.
Did you watch the end of the Suns Lakers yesterday? Wayno asked the question.
Yes.
Dylan Brooks poked the bear.
Dylan Brooks
hit a 3. And they got ejected, and LeBron got attacked. I mean, it was just a wild game.
So the ending was wild because, like, Bron got away with the foul. He fouled Dylan. Dylan should have got a free throw. Then Dylan poked the bear, who is going to flop when you run up at him, and he fell all back, got Dylan ejected. And then LeBron got away with an SGA-type jump forward on the 3. He missed the tech free throw, but he made the ones that counted from that. And the Lakers won the game. And so it's another, like, yes, Dylan Brooks is great. Like, The offensive product that is Dylan Brooks right now is good, but this is what Dylan does. Dylan costs you games with some of his antics and some of the things that he does. And I'm not saying that he necessarily cost him that game wholly. LeBron still had to hit those free throws, and the other end had to happen after he got ejected. But, like, Memphis got tired of him. Houston got tired of him. Phoenix is enjoying the beginning stages of the Dylan Brooks experience where he is a good offensive player, but we all know what's coming. We all know what's coming.
LeBron got away with probably the most egregious handling of a referee without getting tossed. He shoved that referee several times, grabbed him by the arm, moving him out. I mean, it was like Draymond Green level tossing of a referee out of the side and not getting any sort of.
If anybody else did,
it was wild.
You're booted and you're fine. But LeBron is literally the only player on this planet, maybe SGA, that could get away with that type of handling of a referee. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, it was a chaotic ending to a game yesterday.
Listen, and it worked out for the Grizzlies because you need the Suns to keep losing.
Yeah, I'm all for Dylan. Keep shooting. Keep doing your thing, brother. You're helping us even in the other
That game does count. Now, the final game that happens, is that tomorrow night? It does not count towards the standings, records, his history.
Yeah, it's tomorrow night.
Or anything. But those games count.
Early FanDuel line for tomorrow night, which we'll talk about this tomorrow. The Knicks are a 2.5-point home favorite over the Spurs out in Vegas. I don't know. I might go put a little money on San Antonio on the money line and see if I can make a little money tomorrow night.
Yeah, I'm not betting on the Knicks. I'm taking Wemby.
I'm taking the 7'4" alien that they've allowed us to borrow to come play basketball for us for a few years. That's what I'm doing.
Everybody's like, if the aliens were out there, they would have made contact. Buddy, do you watch the NBA? He's here. He's the best player in the NBA.
They are here. They are amongst us, and they are very ethical when they play basketball.
They're better than the locals.
That's it. You daggum right. But
and Canadians.
That's all our basketball talk for today. On the other side of this commercial break, we've got college football playoff games to break down and a Heisman Trophy ceremony that was both underwhelming and weird all at the same time.
In Memphis, we know a thing or two about resilience. From the grindhouse to the Delta, we protect what's ours. But when pests invade your home, it's time to fight back. Grade A Pest knows how to handle what crawls, flies, and bites. With local experience and guaranteed results.
I'm Reggie with Grade A Pest Control. We service the Memphis metro area. That also includes DeSoto and Fayette County as well.
Grade A Pest has the entire Mid-South covered. So if bugs and pests put you to the test, let Grade A solve your problem.
I was kind of encouraged by one or two things tonight. Mainly, the Grizzlies were bad when John Morant was off the court, and that was a little bit of encouragement to me. Him playing basketball so far this year has not really led to team success, and so the fact that the team was really good when he was on the court said a lot to me.
Without Zach Edey, this team is going to struggle in a lot of ways. Zach has changed the way this team has looked. The rebounding situation was just. It's untenable for the Grizzlies moving forward. Like with Yusuf Nurkic, with Kevin Love, with Lauri Markkanen, with Kyle Filipowski, with the size they have out there on the court, it was going to be tough for the Grizzlies, and the Grizzlies did not answer the bell. The bigs did not answer the bell when it came to rebounding.
They've got some, if we were to call them any kind of trees, they would probably be white oaks, how nobody's thought of that yet, I don't know.
Tune into the post-game bounce live on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel immediately after every Memphis Grizzlies game for instant reactions and breakdowns. In the heart of the Highland Strip for 27 years, Trilogy Tattoo has helped tell stories for Memphians for generations. Located at 530 South Highland, Richie and his team are waiting to help you tell yours.
From tattoos to piercings, your body art should be as unique as you are. Voted a Memphis Flyer top 3 tattoo shop in the city of Memphis since day one. Your story will be safe here at Trilogy Tattoo.
Open 7 days a week, Monday through Saturday, 11 to 11, and 3 to 11 on Sundays. They have convenient times waiting on you. Let Trilogy Tattoo help you tell your story.
Welcome back to the Two Bucks Sports Show presented by FanDuel Sportsbook and Grade A Pest Control and myself with the greatest line in Bluff City media history, calling all the big man at Washington a bunch of white oaks. I was proud of that one. I woke up Sunday morning or Saturday morning. I was like, I said that. It's a good one. It's a good one.
It's a good one.
Not the game. Amongst the trees and the white snowy powder in Utah, stand 3 big white 7-footers.
Yeah, exactly. But on the other side of this commercial break is where we do our college football talk. And Drew, we had one of the most underwhelming Heisman winners, I think, of all time.
Francisco Mendoza.
I almost said closed. Fernando.
Case closed. Bang the gavel.
Yeah.
Point
Francisco
proven.
Mendoza, who had he went into the game on Saturday as kind of a co-favorite, slightly behind Diego Pavia. Had a decent game against Ohio State. They won the game, but he went from plus 165 or plus 185 right behind Diego's plus 165 to minus 3,000 by going 10 of 13 for 200 yards, touchdown. Well. I mean, I'm not saying he played bad, but you would have thought the way the odds swung that he threw for 5 touchdowns and they destroyed Ohio State.
No, this just goes to show you what the award is, though. It is the quarterback on the best team. It's the quarterback on the best team.
Well, and it's the quarterback on the best team, but that didn't hold up when Travis Hunter won it last year. A lot of times
there was no good quarterback.
A lot of times what you see is who played last. It's who had that big signature moment on conference championship weekend. And the signature moment was beating Ohio State, which was a good thing. Ohio State was a juggernaut this year. That was a great thing to do. Mm-hmm. But I don't think in 7 of the 12 games that Diego Pavia played, he was the leading rusher. Obviously, the leading passer for Vanderbilt. Most of the time, the leading passer in the game. He had more passing yards than Francisco Mendoza did and played in 1 less game than Mendoza did. But to me, Drew, I think the antics around how that kind of ended didn't that to me was all right, I'm okay with this.
Yeah, so just real quick to the first point is that this award goes to the best quarterback on the best team typically. I think since, I don't know, last 20 years, it's gone to a running back 3 or 4 times. Went to Travis Hunter, a defensive back / wide receiver last year.
Reggie Bush doesn't count.
No, it does count again. They reinstated it.
Oh, I guess they did.
But then you had Henry, Mark Ingram, those guys. And listen, I guess I don't have a problem with Fernando Mendoza winning it. I would have voted Diego Pavia. But ultimately, I think what swings this is the Big Ten championship game, undefeated team. They're going to be in the playoffs, and Diego Pavia's career is over. I think that whether you want to admit it or not, ratings, it's another thing that you can bill Indiana as for playoff ratings. The Heisman Trophy winner will take on either Alabama or Oklahoma. That's pretty sexy thing to say. It definitely bumps up the billing a little bit.
Yeah.
But I would have voted Diego Pavia. I thought Diego Pavia was the most important player on his team. They went 10-2. They missed the playoffs. They didn't deserve to get in the playoffs. So, yeah, Mendoza's fine. He's going to be the least remembered Heisman probably ever. I always talk about Jason White winning the Heisman.
Oklahoma.
But that's because he won it over Eli Manning, and so I feel like it's probably important for me to mention that. But definitely not remembered. And then Diego Pavia is somebody who I love. I love the swaggy. I love the cockiness. I love the in-your-face brashness of Diego Pavia. He went too far afterwards. He definitely went too far. putting F the voters on every single flat surface he could write it on. Like
Indiana, the whole, like it was like I appreciate and like Baker Mayfield. I was a fan of Johnny Manziel, but this was just kind of gross. It just felt gross. Like, buddy, like you lost. Like, hey, congratulations, Mendoza, that was awesome. And then you go party and talk about I'm still the best player. Like, whatever, say whatever. But like, it just felt very gross and very over the top. And I don't know. I saw a lot of funny memes too, like when him and his brothers made their grand appearance, walking in so tough looking, and then they photoshopped the three amigos hats of Steve Martin, Chevy Chase, and Martin Short on them. Like there was some funny ones out there, but it's just like the antics were a little over the top for me in the Heisman.
His height was made fun of too much. As somebody who's, Peter Dinklage and I have probably ran in some similar circles. Seeing Peter Dinklage run across the table in Elf was uncalled for.
Sure,
uncalled for. You know, he definitely a South Pole elf after the getting snubbed for the Heisman Trophy.
Diego Pavia was listed as 6 foot. Jeremiah Love is 6 foot, and Diego Pavia hadn't even sniffed 6 foot when he jumped. Like he ain't 6 foot.
No, people lie. People lie. Rarely do you get called out on it, on your height. But you got stood up next to 3 quarterbacks of Jeremiah Love, and you were not even close to matching heights.
Real quick, funny sidebar. I saw a meme this morning. I meant to send it to you, and it was the birth of Buddy the Elf, and it shows D'Angelo Vickers, and then he hits his head, when the basketball goal falls over, and then becomes Buddy the Elf after he fell. Yeah, I mean, you can't.
D'Angelo Vickers' worst character in The Office ever.
Yeah, easily. In a world where Nelly exists, D'Angelo Vickers is worse. But after all that, we do have a playoff game. Yeah, I do want to talk about this. Everybody's favorite quarterback, apparently on this network, except for me, DJ Lagway, enters the transfer portal this morning, surprising probably to none. Right now, the front runners include, per On3 Sports, Baylor, Miami, and LSU as landing spots for DJ Lagway.
That's crazy considering he sucks, that all these teams that are good want him. So,
and there was somebody on this network that tried to warn y'all, even while being yelled at on a stage at Grind City Brewing about how generational talent DJ Lagway. So I'm not playing the victim. I'm standing on business and saying 2 of y'all was wrong and 1 of y'all was right.
You yelled at me.
Y'all were yelling at me about it, and 2 of y'all was wrong.
We'll see a situation. We'll see if situation counts if it mattered. They also fired their coach.
Yeah. So there's too many glaring holes in his game. But speaking of glaring holes, in the first college football preview of the week, we're going to take each day, Monday through Thursday, to highlight an individual game. We're going to make our picks on Friday, probably make some picks along the way as we go, especially in some of these. Like this game where James Madison travels to Austin Stadium to play the Oregon Ducks over on FanDuel. They are a 21.5-point underdog. You can get JMU plus 1,200 on the money line. And I think this is telling. The yardage, over-under yardage, for JMU is set at 277.5. Oregon is set at 438.5. Drew, what is your takes on the Dukes versus the Ducks?
Yeah, I'm glad we started with this one, and we probably should just do Ole Miss and Tulane next because they're the two games that should be blowouts.
We're gonna start that one's tomorrow, and then we'll get to the better games on Wednesday and Thursday.
Don't save Ole Miss Tulane just because I'm on the show. We can rank these appropriately. I think Oregon blows them out. There is no better place to be in this seeding, in this bracket, than the fifth seed, in my opinion. I would rather be 5 than I'd be 4 and get a bye. You saw last year all 4 teams that got a bye got beat. I think that was a little bit of a fluke as well as just coming in cold. And Oregon gets a chance to tune up in basically a week 1 kind of game. James Madison, you deserve to be here. You deserve to be here based on the committee's criteria. You deserve to be here. You were ranked higher than Duke, therefore you should be here. And so I don't think that it's going to I don't think that they belong on the same playing field. When you look at college football at the top level, it is size-speed ratio. Oregon checks all those boxes. Oregon should be favored pretty highly. If you talk about any team 5 through 12 that, not taking in the byes and the conference champions and all that, or P4 conference champions, Oregon should probably be the most highly favored team that plays in week 1 just because of, 1, their path, and 2, they're really good.
They're really good.
Really
I mean, I've got some stats. They average 218 yards rushing, 246 yards passing, 38.2 points per game, which is top 10 in the country. Both of they're a top 10 rushing offense. Like Oregon is quietly a juggernaut in the Northwest with a easy path. And this has been my highlight, Jared. Brings up JMU and Oregon Twitter. That JMU news that I sent in the group chat and sent it out has been one of my favorite things about this fall season. Like going back and forth, like
targeting Notre Dame,
targeting Oregon, talking about like Oregon might be the slowest team I've ever seen. They've got a slow-mo video of Oregon. An Oregon account posts a sped up video of JMU. It's like, we can't keep with the speed. Like it's been banger after banger. They don't miss. Just generational run from JMU news. If you don't follow them on X, go do that. But speaking of that, like this is my like JMU and Josh Pate talked about this, so give credit where credit's due. JMU has faced one team inside the top 50 power rankings, and that was Louisville. They lost by 2 touchdowns. Oklahoma has played 8 teams. Oregon has played 4 teams, and they only lost to one of them, the Big Ten champion Indiana, in what was just an incredible game. Right. This is the outside of so JMU comes in as the number 2 rushing defense in the country. Their strength of schedule is way higher than Oregon's, but they give up 77.2 rushing yards per game. Oregon's defense gives up 112.8 yards per game, which is good enough for 20th in the country. And you know who's right behind them? Louisville at 21st, giving up 113 yards per game. And Louisville beat this team by 2 touchdowns. I don't like there. I mean, sure. Is there a path? There's always a path. That's why they play the game. But like JMU is a run first offense. They want to average 190 yards passing per game. This is going to be a game where they're going to get behind early, going to have to throw the ball. And Oregon forces turnovers at a very high rate. They only give up 14 points a game. I don't see a path here for the Dukes.
Yeah, I would take Oregon minus 21.5 easy. I would probably take Oregon higher. And again, I'm not here to besmirch JMU. Like
No.
You earned your right in by winning conference. Things fell right for you to get in. I think the criteria should change, but that is the criteria. You made the criteria. By that definition, you deserve to be in. I would rather this matchup be Notre Dame or
from a fan perspective, sure.
Or
BYU, somebody else. From a fan perspective, absolutely. Like this is going to be one that I'll turn on. I believe it's on Saturday morning. Saturday night. I'll turn it on. I'll watch the beginning of it, and by halftime, I'll be fully invested in something else because the Grizzlies play. I'll actually be at that game, so I'll have the score pulled up on the Real app, kind of keeping up with it, probably for the first little bit, and then when Oregon goes up by 3 touchdowns, then that's going to be it. And that's no shame to the Dukes. They're a good team. They're a great G5 team. Just their run with Kurt Cignetti getting them to here. And then Bob Chesney getting them over the hump, getting them into the playoffs and taking the mantle and continuing. They've only been in D1 like this for what, like 3 or 4 years, Drew? Like they just made the transition
that's right.
like 3 to 5 years ago, somewhere right in there. And they're already in the college football playoffs.
Great
so
story.
Kudos to them as a program. It's a great story. But Ducks by 50. This is a good Oregon team that scores fast. They score from far. They don't give up explosive plays, but they hit explosive plays. Dante Moore's a great quarterback. And the biggest thing is they've been kind of banged up down the stretch. One of the best things that could have happened for Oregon for this playoff run was not playing in the Big Ten championship game because it gave them time to heal on the offensive line, on the defensive side of the ball. Their running back's been banged up a little bit. If all those dudes get healthy and they come back with this path, Oregon could be a good dark horse to throw some doll hairs on over on FanDuel. And I'll get those odds while you talk for a minute.
Yeah, and one of the things that if you want to poke holes in Oregon, and I'm going to get out in front of it because people are going to poke holes in Ole Miss going forward on it, is Oregon lost both coordinators to head coaching jobs. Will Stein going to Kentucky and Tosh Lupoy going to Cal. I believe both of those coaches are going to stay with them throughout the playoff run here. And so you just worry about split allegiances, how much time is being spent. I don't believe for a second that it will get in the way of game planning for this. You know, a lot of people go on and on about coaches leaving And he's currently both of these guys are trying to set up staffs at their future places.
Mm-hmm.
I truly believe, and this is also what I'm hearing out of Ole Miss as well, is that a lot of these guys are professionals. This is going to be blown up, and I'm not going to overemphasize any of it because you only practice for so long, you only game plan for so long, and nobody is spending 24 hours a day game planning for James Madison, or if Oregon wins, game planning for Texas Tech. You got time to do other stuff in there. So I'm not going to ding Oregon here at all for Taj Lupo and Will Stein taking jobs elsewhere.
Agreed. Agreed. And listen, like you right now, if you want to throw some money though on Oregon, like it'd be a good opportunity for you to go make some money. It's a good path because third best odds for the FBS championship exact matchup is Ohio State to beat Oregon at plus 800. If you look at the college football playoff overall, they are plus 300 to make the national championship game. They are minus 110 to make the semis, and they're minus 280, obviously, to make the quarterfinals. And so they've got a good path. It's a very friendly path, and an opportunity to win a national championship is right there for Oregon, given that they've got JMU, Texas Tech, a team that last year we saw none of the teams on a bye get a win. And of the top four, it feels like Texas Tech could be the most gettable. Oregon has a path to a national championship for Dan Lanning, and you know he's going to have that team ready.
Yeah, and Oregon is on the good side of the bracket too. Ole Miss is on the bad side of the bracket. You look at what their path through is beating JMU, and then they'll face off with Texas Tech. And if they win there and everything goes chalk, they'll play Indiana in the semifinals. Ole Miss is, you got Georgia and Ohio State waiting on the other side. So it is what it is. Brackets always favor one way or the other.
Sure.
But once you get to it, there's no way that I would, as an Ole Miss fan, hope that we would play cupcakes the whole way through. Like, this is the playoffs. And fortunately for Oregon, I think theirs is probably the most desirable.
Yeah, exactly. And so we'll find out tomorrow. We'll talk Tulane and Ole Miss and talk that path a little bit deeper, as well as recap this Clippers game on your Tuesday edition. That's going to do it for your Monday edition. I'll wrap this up quick because we're going to let Miss Jenny sing us out into the commercial break. But appreciate y'all being here. If you were in the comments, thank you. If you're here, like, subscribe, turn on notifications. It doesn't do anything for you. It helps us out tremendously. We're trying to grow our reach here in the Mid-South. We really appreciate y'all being here, hanging with us on X and on YouTube, Facebook, wherever you consume these shows. Turn those notifications on so you know whenever we go live. And go be a friend to somebody who needs a friend. Drew, tell them why there are no refunds, and then we'll let Miss Jenny sing us out.
That's right. Because with the $2, you always get what you pay for. And I'm telling you, if you didn't get to watch the show that I watched yesterday morning with my daughter singing Go Tell It on the Mountain, you would pay top dollar to see it. Let Jenny take us out. Just look at the effort.
Singing from her toenails here. We appreciate y'all being here. We'll be back tomorrow live at 11 a.m. Central. See y'all.
Thank you for listening to the $2 Sports Show. If you enjoyed this episode, leave a rating and a review wherever you download your podcasts. Also, like and subscribe to Bluff City Media's YouTube page. We'll see you back here next time.